It started with me just trying to fix up the old family cabin by Willow Creek, the place my dad poured his heart into after coming back from the Gulf War, all weathered logs and memories of fishing trips that kept me sane after losing him 6 months back. I'd left the city law grind behind, hammer in hand, nailing down rotted beams under that golden afternoon sun, feeling like I was piecing myself back together too. But then sirens wailed, shattering the quiet, and there she was, Susan Harper, our self-crowned HOA queen, pointing fingers like I'd committed treason, her voice sharp as a nail gun. "Officer, he's altering the structure without approval, probably ruining our pristine views." And me, Alex Thompson, stepping down from the ladder, dusting off my jeans, handing over this yellow deed from '87 without a word, watching her smug face crack just a bit as the cop's eyes widened. I mean, Susan wasn't just nosy, she was a force, mid-50s with that perfect bob haircut and pearls that screamed, "I run this lakeside paradise," elected HOA president 3 years ago, and turning it into her personal empire, fining folks for overgrown lawns or wrong paint shades, all while her modern mansion loomed across the water like a trophy of her control freak ways. And yeah, I'd heard whispers, how she lent money to newcomers at rates that'd make sharks blush, but I figured it was gossip until Officer Ramirez scanned that deed, his brow furrowing. "Mr. Thompson, this shows your dad's land boundaries from before the HOA even existed. Wait, according to this survey, their fancy office building sits smack on your property." Oh, the irony hit like a gut punch, Susan sputtering. "That's absurd, we had surveys." But her eyes darted, that confident gleam flickering out, and I just stood there, calm as the creek, thinking, "Dad, you sneaky veteran, you left me a bomb in that file cabinet." As Ramirez drove off, leaving Susan fuming by her SUV, I dove deeper that night, spreading Dad's papers across the rickety kitchen table. Meticulous guy, military habits die hard. And bam, the HOA formation docs from 2019 stared back, needing 2/3 approval. That's 10 out of 15 lots, but only 7 signatures, a couple looking forged, like someone got creative with a pen. My blood chilled, realizing every citation she'd slapped on us might be bogus. Her whole reign a sham built on shortcuts and secrets. And then Margaret Lewis knocked the next morning. 70-something retired nurse with a pie in hand and fire in her eyes. "Alex, honey, it's time you knew." Susan runs shadow meetings in her living room with her yes men, like that plumber Gary, deciding rules then pretending we all voted. And those loans. She's got half the new folks indebted, voting her way or else. Her whisper hung heavy, painting Susan not as a busybody but a manipulator, maybe even dipping into shadier stuff. Her mansion $2 grand for HOA dues alone. The threats crept in subtle at first. An anonymous gravelly call that night. "Drop the boundary crap, lawyer boy, or accidents happen around here." And I spotted 2 sketchy guys lurking by the trees, one twitchy, checking his phone, the other built like a bouncer with scarred hands. My daughter Sophie, 12 and full of spark, showed up that weekend with her camera, filming everything for her little vlog. "Dad, Grandpa's secret bunker is epic. Show me the tunnel." And while she explored Dad's underground setup, vents and lights and that escape route to the shore he'd dug over summers, I felt his paranoia wasn't so crazy anymore, especially as Susan stormed up later with Gary and some sleazy counsel named Phil, shoving a fake eco report in my face. "Your repairs are poisoning the creek. Cease now or pay 15 grand for assessments." Her smile venomous. Me retorting coolly, funny coming from someone squatting on my land, watching her flush, the air crackling with unspoken war. But the community hall meeting she called? That was her big play, room packed with 20-odd neighbors under buzzing lights, Susan at the front like a prosecutor, slides blasting my toxic fixes as threats to our serene ecosystem, her voice rising. "We must protect our values from this rogue." And I rose slow, heart pounding but voice steady. "Let's talk facts," laying out the deed, the forged signatures, the office on my turf, murmurs rippling as Margaret backed me. "I never signed that mess." And old engineer Bill chimed, "Me neither. Been paying fines for nothing?" Susan's face twisted from pink to purple, snapping, "You're twisting loopholes to dodge rules, Alex. Your ego's tanking our paradise." But when pressed for her docs, she stammered excuses, the room erupting, votes failing her, and as folks filed out, I overheard her hushed call. "No delays. Make it an accident tonight and sure he's out." Her eyes meeting mine, cold as ice. "Oh, mister." Thompson, still here? Me nodding neutral, but inside alarm bells blaring. Hired my old PI buddy, Ryan Fletcher. Next, guy could unearth skeletons from saints. And in days, he blew it open. Susan owned Creekview Loans, a predatory outfit bleeding folks dry, supplying pills to addicts like Derek the Twitchy One, who owed her for help with his habit, and Vince the Brute drowning in $50K gambling debt at 400% interest. But the kicker? Her grand scheme. A $12 million resort with riverside developments, she'd sunk $2 million buying 8 lots via shells, manipulating the rest through HOABS and loans. My cabin the last holdout. Deadline looming or she'd forfeit everything. Desperate, ruthless, explaining the escalation. Sophie, bless her, caught it all on cam. Footage showing Susan slipping cash in a gas can to Derek, gesturing at our place like plotting a hit, her whispers faint but damning. And when Susan called that night, voice stripped to steel. Sell now, generous offer. Move far with your girl. Avoid accidents around flammable sites. I recorded every threat. 24 hours ticking like a bomb. Then 2:30 a.m. hit. Gasoline stench choking the air. Shadows dousing the walls. Vince and Derek executing her plan. Flames whooshing up as I shook Sophie awake. Quiet, honey. We're going Grandpa's way. Her eyes wide but brave. Us bolting to the basement, yanking the hidden lever, crawling that narrow tunnel as heat built, smoke seeping, the crackle above like a monster devouring Dad's legacy. We burst out by the shore, gasping, cabin ablaze in orange fury, but Dad's infrared cams, gold. They captured it all, Susan lurking 200 yards back, phone out, directing like a twisted director. Sirens screamed in. Sheriff Daniels rolling up as I explained our escape, footage sealing it. Derek cracking first, sobbing in cuffs. She hooked me on pills, forced this, said burn it, make it accidental for her resort. Vince flat, defeated. Owes my soul. Proceed even with lights on. Can't miss deadline. Susan arrived feigning shock. Oh, Alex, this tragedy. But infrared nailed her, Daniels cuffing her mid-act. Conspiracy arson. Attempted murder. Plus your loan sharking and drugs, lady. You're done. FBI swarmed, unraveling her web. 23 families fleeced for 1.2 mile. Riverside fined $2 million and banned. HOA voided. Her trial a slaughter. 28 years federal time. Restitution flowing. We rebuilt. Cabin stronger on Dad's foundation. Tunnel intact. Turned her office into the James Thompson Library. Free aid for victims like those she displaced. Sophie's vid went viral. 4 million views. Her channel teaching kids to spot creeps. A year on, at the dedication, neighbors milling, books in hand, I felt Dad smiling, justice through grit, not shouts. But here's the twist that nags. Was Susan pure evil, or just a broke dreamer crushed by her own greed, pushing too far? What do you think? Ever faced a neighbor tyrant? Share below. Right or wrong, how'd you fight back? Like, subscribe for more real tales. Your story might be next.